silver Rolls-Royce pulled into the circular driveway of the Langley estate, its polished exterior catching the last amber streaks of the setting sun. The mansion loomed ahead, all cold stone and glass, beautiful but unwelcoming like a jewel, encased in iced asterisk inside. The air was thick with silence, not peace, the kind of silence that hovered nervously, like it knew it could be broken at any moment by the sharp snap of rage. Maya Green stepped through the back entrance, her worn leather bag in one hand, a small Bible tucked under her arm. Her shoes were polished, her uniform crisp, but it was the way she held herself chin high, eyes steady, that made the butler pause mid-step. Name, he asked, clipboard in hand, gaze flicking toward her dark skin, then away again, quickly. Maya Green, she said. Here for the maid position. He gave a nod that wasn't quite approval and motioned her to follow. The halls were immaculate, not a speck out of place. Maya could feel something beneath the order, something tense. Kaya, like wires pulled too tight under wallpaper. She'll see you now, the butler murmured as they reached a large set of doors. He knocked once and opened them. The room was a vision of modern opulence, marble floors, gold accents, towering windows revealing manicured grounds, and at the center, perched on a white velvet chaise, was her, Bianca Langley. She looked like a sculpture, impossibly beautiful, perfectly still, but her eyes were sharp, watchful, dangerous. So, Bianca said slowly, her voice smooth, but brittle. You're the next one. Maya met her gaze without flinching. I'm here to work. Bianca tilted her head, studying her like a new toy she wasn't sure whether to break or play with. They said the last girl cried on her. Third day, the one before her fainted. The one before that, ... Well, let's not talk about her. I'm not them. A smile flickered across Bianca's lips, mocking or impressed. It was hard to tell. We'll see. Silence returned, stretched taut between them. Then Bianca waved a hand. Let her settle in. Maya turned to leave, but not before she caught a flicker of something in Bianca's eyes. Amusement, curiosity, or maybe the beginning of a new game. Whatever it was. Maya felt it. The house had teeth, but so did she. The servant quarters were tucked away at the far end of the east wing, out of sight, out of mind. The hallway smelled faintly of lavender, polish, and old wood. As Maya followed the housekeeper, Mrs. Ingram, a stout woman with tired eyes and a brisk pace, she took in the muted elegance of her new surroundings. Even the walls here, where the guests would never tread, were tasteful cream-colored with thin gold trim. And the floor beneath her feet was carpeted, not bare. This is your room, Mrs. Ingram said, stopping in front of a narrow wooden door. She pushed it open, revealing a small but clean space. A single bed, a dresser, a small desk, a window overlooked the servants' entrance, and a sliver of the garden beyond. You'll rise at 5. Mrs. Ingram continued, already turning away. Kitchen starts at 6 sharp. Madame has her green juice at 7:15. No sooner, no later. Maya set her bag on the bed. What happened to the last maid? Mrs. Ingram paused, shoulders tensed, but she didn't turn around. She left. Why? Mrs. Ingram finally faced her. It's best not to ask questions. Keep your head down, do what's asked, and don't try to be clever. The madam doesn't like clever. I'm not here to impress her, Maya said quietly. Just to work. Mrs. Ingram's eyes narrowed, not unkindly. She studied Maya for a moment, as if measuring how long she might last. We all say that at first, she said. Then she left. Maya stood alone in the quiet room. The walls felt closer than they looked, and for a moment, she let the silence settle around her. She walked to the window, lifted the curtain, and looked out. The garden was immaculate, almost unnaturally so. The hedges cut to military precision. A single gardener moved silently, shears glinting in the early evening light. Asterisks she unpacked slowly, folding her few belongings into drawers that smelled of cedar. Her Bible she placed gently on the nightstand. Her grandmother's cross she hung on the wall above her bed. A photo of her mother, worn at the corners, was tucked inside the desk drawer, asterisk outside her room. The house murmured with faint movement, distant heels on tile. The metallic clink of silverware being arranged, a hushed voice behind a closed door. There was a rhythm to the place, but it didn't feel natural. Teased, managed, controlled. She sat on the bed and exhaled. The springs creaked beneath her. Case landed on the ceiling. She could already feel it. The air here was too still, the silence too expectant. Something was always listening. Asterisk Maya reached for her Bible and opened it to the page her grandmother had marked before she passed. The words were familiar, grounding. She didn't read them aloud. She didn't need to. They were already in her bones. Asterisk, she closed the book, placed it back on the nightstand, and lay down with her eyes open. She wasn't afraid. She never had been, but she was watching and listening. Asterisk morning came quietly, but with purpose. The first light crept through Maya's small window, brushing soft gold across the floorboards. She was already up, had been for nearly an hour, dressed, bed made, shoes polished. Her hands moved efficiently, pulling her hair into a tight bun before she slipped on her apron and stepped out into the corridor. Asterisk, the mansion was waking slowly. Faint clinks from the kitchen echoed through the halls, along with the low murmurs of the staff beginning their day. Maya moved through it all without hesitation, her steps sure, her eyes alert. This was her world, even if it wasn't her home. Asterisk in the kitchen. Hey, the chef, short, balding Frenchman named Rene, was already barking orders in a mixture of English and culinary curses. The pans hissed. The air smelled of eggs, truffle oil, and freshly squeezed citrus. Asterisk, new girl. He grunted when he saw her, not looking up from his chopping board. Juice from Madame. Spinach, kale, pineapple, celery, no foam. Asterisk, Maya nodded once and found the ingredients already prepped in small glass bowls. The juicer was sleek and industrial, worried to life under her hands. In less than 2 minutes, she poured the thick green liquid into a tall crystal glass and set it gently on a silver tray. Asterisk, Renee glanced at it, then at her. You've done this before. I've done a lot, she said. He smirked faintly, but said nothing more. Asterisk, Mrs. Ingram appeared from the hallway. She's ready for her breakfast, she said in a clipped tone. And she's in one of her moods, Renee grunted again, rolling his eyes. Maya picked up the tray without hesitation. The glass didn't tremble in her hands. She followed Mrs. Ingram through the winding halls toward the sunroom, where Bianca Langley liked to take her meals. The walls along the way were lined with art modern pieces that looked expensive and intentionally meaningless. Maya's eyes lingered only briefly. Asterisk, Mrs. Ingram stopped before the glass panel doors. Place the tray down gently, she whispered. Say nothing unless spoken to. Smile only if she smiles first. Asterisk. Maya didn't answer. She pushed the doors open and stepped into a room bathed in sunlight and tension. Asterisk, Bianca was seated at the far end of a long white table, dressed in silk the color of bone, her eyes hidden behind oversized sunglasses. She didn't look up as Maya approached. A tiny dog, some designer breed with a nervous twitch, sat at her feet, glaring like it shared its owner's disdain. Asterisk, Maya placed the tray down with quiet precision. The glass clinked softly against the porcelain coaster. Bianca didn't touch it. Where are you from? She asked, suddenly, voice smooth and and pointed like the edge of a blade. Asterisk, Maya straightened. Georgia, originally, asterisk, HM. Kaka's fingers toyed with a spoon she wasn't using. Small town girl. Asterisk, yes. Asterisk, religious. Asterisk, Maya paused. Faithful. Asterisk. Bianca finally looked up then, sliding her sunglasses down the bridge of her nose. Her eyes were pale and icy, scanning Maya's face for something. A weakness, a hesitation. Asterisk, you won't last, she said softly, almost sweetly. Asterisk, Maya met her gaze. Maybe not. But I'm here today. Asterisk, something passed between them in that momentary, unspoken challenge. Bianca leaned back slowly, picked up the juice, and took a small sip. Asterisk, you made this. Asterisk, I followed the recipe. Asterisk, well. A pause. It doesn't taste like poison. Okay, that's a start. She waved a hand without looking. Dismissal. Maya left as silently as she had arrived. The echo of her footsteps swallowed by the plush rug. Asterisk behind her. Bianca watched her go through narrowed eyes, her fingers tapping lightly against the glass. She didn't smile, but she didn't spit out the juice either.